We should probably actually start this thing.
Okay.
Hi. How's it going?
Is that how you start?
So good.
How are you doing? I live with you, and that's the best you can come up with.
Hello.
Okay. Good afternoon, evening, morning, whenever the hell you're deciding to watch this video of ours. This is our
Who are you talking to?
makeshift dummy run podcast. Like our first, we did a non-video version that you can check on our little website, not website, YouTube
Website,
channel.
you
Yeah.
fucking mong.
How 90s was that? Check my website for this.
If you just go
Jesus.
click the link in the description and go to my website. Where we had many videos. One, might I add.
Yeah, one.
Carry on.
Yeah, it's a good one.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
If you go to our YouTube channel, there'll be a video there, and you can view that. But enough talking to you. I'm gonna talk to this mong for the next half an hour, maybe more, maybe less. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. See, didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it rhymed, didn't it? How about that?
Okay.
So, Shai, I've got a question I want to start this podcast off with.
Okay, go on.
I've been building up questions over the last couple, however long it's been since the last.
Over the last couple of,
I sound like that guy of YouTube. And if you go to
Can I just say before you? This is going to be my stress monitor.
Right.
This is Boba Fett here. This little. So he's going to start out in this little corner. The more
Right,
the
okay,
more
good.
you stress me out and aggravate me, the more it's going to move over to the other corner.
Right,
That's
okay.
just a little thing for you to know. But yeah, carry on.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I mean, there is literally a stress ball there.
No, I don't know.
It's
Fuck
little,
that.
no.
This is the meter. This is the ball. So
Right.
I'll use the ball after the meter's gone up.
Right. Okay. What do I have?
Nothing.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, anyway, back to my question. So, over the last... okay, I'm going to stop doing that. Since the last podcast, I've been trying to think of questions to... God, I feel so much pressure already. I've been trying to think of questions to ask you in the next podcast, and I was walking through the street the other day, and a little question popped up. And I was walking, just casually to work, as one does, and I thought to myself... I can smell something. Where have I smelt this before? And I thought it's the beach smell. Like, when you go to the beach or you go to like a theme park and you smell those beautiful smelling donuts, like those really sugary, small little donuts. And then the most beautiful smell in the world. The taste gets a bit horrible after a little while, but at the start they're great. Now I've come to the conclusion here, hypothetically, if you could smell...
Sorry, carry on. Carry on. Go on.
Right. You could. Right. Okay. I'm gonna start this off with one version of the question, and then I'm gonna go with the second version. Right. So the first version here is: if you could smell like those donuts for the rest of your life, your natural scent was one of those donuts.
Okay.
Would you do it for the rest of your life? You never need to do deodorant ever again. If a genie popped out of a bottle right now and was like, "Look, you can smell like those beautiful sugary donuts you get at the beach, at the theme parks, whatever. That would be your natural scent that you leave behind. When people sniff you, they sniff that donut smell, and they're like, it's nice. That's nice. Love that smell. You're delicious. You are delicious." Would you take it? Would you do it? No.
This is your question that you came up with.
I was walking through the street. Yeah, I was just
This is the question. Wow.
thought very hard.
Okay.
I thought about this for a long time.
Well, no, I wouldn't, because no, because I feel like you could say this with most smells, you get sick of it, but I feel like with the donut sweet smell, you would get more sick of it, because all you would smell is just sweet sugar all the time, with a bit of dough. Like you just have that all the time. So
Such
like,
a nice smell though.
it is a nice smell, but you would
nice
just
smell.
get sick of it. Like if you're sitting at home and then I walk in the front door and then you just suddenly go, "Oh, great, he's here!" Like you just know. Like
I don't know. I
straight
feel like
away.
I'd have that sort of thing of like, Shai's home. Like you have that sort of smell. Like, I really want a donut now.
Just after a while.
Why has that triggered you? Why has that triggered you?
Don't know. No, it's just no. I couldn't do it. It's just after a while you get sick of it, and it's the smell of sweet.
I feel like the
all
only
time
time it would ever sort of
Don't say picking up women. Don't.
No.
Okay,
I mean,
fine.
although that would mostly be a benefit there. Like you could just, hi there, my name's Shai. Smell like those donuts you get at the beach. How are you doing?
Why would you open a sentence?
But I feel like that's a good opener. Anyway, the point I was going for, I've completely forgotten because it's just gone out of my head when I went with that whole pickup line. What was you saying just then? You were saying that you get right. That's what I've just been reminded of it. The only time I reckon you probably get sick of it is when you're really ill. And I mean, I suppose you can't smell your own scent, but like if your partner,
you never
let's
can
say,
smell your own scent. That's the point.
okay,
Carry on.
let's say your partner was ill. So you live with your partner, she's really ill, or he, you know they're really ill. When you're really ill, you don't want to smell anything like that. You know, you don't want to smell curry or takeaway or sugary sweetness things.
Yeah.
Because that makes you feel like you want to vomit, right? That would probably be the only downfall. If you smelt like that, they'd be like, oh, fuck off, get away from me. I don't want to sniff you.
But there are other downsides as well. Like, for example, if you are, say, if you were allergic to the food that you smell of, so like you were allergic to sugar.
You're
or
allergic
to.
Yeah, you're allergic to the food. You're not allergic to the smell, though, are you? You don't
Yeah,
sniff people and go, ah.
No, not an allergic reaction. I mean, like you're allergic, but
Puff
so
up like
you're,
a little
you're
stress
sick.
ball.
You don't want to smell it because you're or you're sick of the taste, the smell. So when you smell it, it's like, oh god, go away. Or you go to a funeral. It's a really depressing moment.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's sad. Everyone's missing their whoever's bit lost.
You cheer
blah,
them
blah.
up with your donut smell.
No, because you're just standing in the middle of a room and it's just like, oh, God, this isn't the time. Like you're trying to be sad.
I really don't feel like that would go across anybody's mind. If I was at a funeral and I smelled those donuts, I'd go, give me those fucking donuts.
No, I wouldn't.
I'd be like, where are these donuts being cooked? Like, I want some of them. You can smell that hosh. That hot, fresh, hot or hosh, as some people say. Like you smell that nice hot fresh donut smell and you're like, oh, I could really go for some donuts right now. When's this funeral ending? Because I need to get them donuts in me. It'd be so great. Do you not think?
No.
I feel like at a funeral I would absolutely love that.
No.
Absolutely love it. It'd be great.
God.
I feel like it'd cheer everyone up, bring the cheer that they need. Yes, someone's died, but we're getting those beautiful looking donuts after this funeral's over.
No.
However, although you would kind of disappoint people because they'd smell the donuts, but then donuts wouldn't actually be there.
But that's the biggest tease of this whole thing. It would just be you. That's the biggest thing, though. All the time you would go through people in like a market or a busy area like Bromley, Croydon or Stratford, and everyone would smell it and be like, oh, it's that kid who smells. You'd be on the news. You'd be known on the news for smelling like donuts. And then when you walk through the street and everyone sniffs it, it's like, oh, oh, it's just that kid again. Like you just get so pissed off. And then over like 5 years' time, the people will get so pissed off. They'll be like, do you know what? It's time to end this. So then like they get a mob out of nowhere with like flame, like the old style torches and flame, go after you and be like, we're sick of you teasing us by not having donuts. We want to kill you. Because or something like that, I don't know. Like it's just, oh no, just no.
Can I just say that sounds like a Rick and Morty episode? As in you escalated it so fucking far that just is not even realistic, is it?
No.
They're gonna kill someone.
Wait,
mobs
whole
are gonna
thing
start.
Isn't realistic.
Mobs are gonna start
Yeah.
and they're gonna kill you. They're all gonna get like a Sinister Six situation because you smell like fucking donuts from the beach. What's wrong with you?
How are you saying realistic when none of this is realistic?
You never know. Science is beautiful. Science is beautiful.
Okay.
Wow.
Have you got
slightly
Science.
across?
Have you got what else have you got?
What else have I got? Well,
any other questions?
let's see. I
If
wrote
not, then-
some down. Oh wait, I just remembered one.
What?
To let you know.
Oh, carry
That's
on.
a thing.
Carry on.
Anyway, second question.
Yeah.
Right. So, what was that?
No, hang on.
What was that?
Why is it locked? Oh, don't matter. Carry on. Edit this
going
out.
on?
Don't matter. Carry on.
Edit this out, he says. I'm going to keep this in. It's going to be great.
Fucking-
People are going to laugh. They'll be like, oh, what bad production. This
What
is-
else have you got?
My
before we move
second
on?
question. Right,
Yes.
I've got 3 questions. I can't remember what the third one is, so I will have to check that. Second question I got. When we were playing Monopoly the other day, I say the other day, the other week,
Like last, yeah.
No need to go any further detail than that in terms of the game itself. Shut up.
May I just say?
Shut up. Let's just keep
Every
a shroud over this.
Every
Right,
game
so
I've
my
won.
question to you, sir, is when we were playing Monopoly the other day, did you just do a subtle thing to the camera? You little bastard.
Carry on.
When we were playing Monopoly the other day, or the other week rather, whatever it is, I came up with an idea, as I do. Just like the donut one where I came up with an idea for that. You're going to love this. I told you that I came up with the idea at the time, and you told me not to tell you, so I didn't. I'm telling you now, when you roll the dice, and let's say there are houses on the spaces, right? If you roll the dice and it knocks over a house, do you think that those people in those houses are alive?
You asked me this question before. I think you asked me this question before, or something like that, and I just said
I think
no.
I made a
and then
joke
that's
about it.
Yeah, and I was like,
offhandedly.
and I was just like, well, no, because why would you? Why is it alive? Is this alive? Like, why are you asking that question? Why are you?
No, I just
suggesting-
mean, do you think that there's a possibility that in those houses there could be little people that we don't know about?
No, because that's not possible. Because
Why is it not possible?
Because they're made and filled. They're not hollow. They are filled.
But how do you know they're not hollow? They're very small. They could have little people inside them. Just like the little man from last podcast who goes inside you.
Okay, are there little
Sorts you
people
out.
inside this?
No, because that's not a house.
No, but are there little people inside it?
No, because it's not a house.
Why does it have to be a house?
Because a house has people inside it.
So it doesn't matter.
This house has people inside it.
But why does the little people
Every
need to
house
go in a
has
little
people
house?
inside.
The little house serves no purpose. There is no electricity, no gas, no food. So
Yeah,
how
but
are
that's
these?
what we do by giving them. We go around the Monopoly board and buy them electricity and gas, and
But
train
no,
stations.
No,
and
because
stuff.
now you're putting mythology with your realism. You're putting the fact that we buy electrics, but we don't actually give them electrics, to the fact that there are little people inside. So you're suggesting that there are real little miniature people inside a house living on fake electricity and fake gas that we buy them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're crossing two different. That makes no sense.
I mean, it makes sense to me. We go around the Monopoly board, buy them these houses and whatnot, put houses up for them, even hotels for the luxury and those that can afford it. And we go around, we buy like those little gas places and the electricity places. I can't remember what they're called.
There's just
but
one of each, but yeah.
one of each. There you go. One for all mankind to share. And then it goes into the houses, doesn't it? When we own the card, it goes into the houses.
How does it go into the houses?
Because we have the card and we own the houses.
But how does it go in?
Therefore, it's just a thing. It happens.
No, explain.
No, the gas and the electric. When we own it, it goes into the houses
How?
that we own, because we've already owned it.
No, but how does it go in? Physically, how does it go in?
Physically, I mean, you could. Do you look at gas and electricity right now and say it's a physical thing?
Well,
It's-
yeah.
You don't see it, do you?
Well, no,
Where's the electricity here, right?
Inside.
Inside. So that's what I mean. The little people are inside.
No, but how does it get from
The gas and
card?
electric is inside the
How
house.
does it get from the card to the house?
The card is just a thing that you own. I'm saying when you own that, it's doing this thing already. You own both.
What's its thing?
You own both, and it goes inside. It combines. When you buy the house.
How? You're
I'm
not
just-
explaining how.
No, I'm not explaining the real world either, am I? Electricity here, I'm not looking at it, am I? It just happens. It goes inside and does its thing. But somebody owns it, and just that person owning it means that they get paid for it, just like we do on Monopoly.
This is a ridiculous question. Move on to your last one, please.
Right, my last one. Let's see. This is going to be a whopper. I can tell. I can already tell.
Why have you not prepared? Why?
I am prepared. I wrote it down. Wait, hold on.
That's not being
Here we
prepared by still bringing it out. That's like going to drama school for years, then having a production and going, "Oh, I
Here we
prepared for it on a
Here we
script.
go.
It's in my pocket. Let me
Here we
bring
go.
it
Here
out
we go.
on stage."
Here we go. Right. Okay. This is a banger. This is a banger. I love this one. Right. So my last question to you.
Progressively got worse.
You could have 5 things. Just think of 5 things right now that you want most in this world. It could be anything you like, anything at all. And let's say a little genie will come out and give it to you. Don't worry about that. Just don't worry about that. The genie will. All right, a fairy then. Fairy will pop up. Doesn't matter about the mythology. Someone will give it to you. All right, some rich bloke. Let's say Bill Gates can give you 5 things that you've always wanted, no matter what it is. Right now, it could be real, not real, whatever you like. Get those 5 things. However, for the next 5 years, your legs...
Sorry, the fact that you started with your legs. Fucking hell.
Your legs will continue to walk for the next 5 years.
What, has they always done? I don't understand.
No. As in they're constantly in a walking motion. They will always be walking. For the next 5 years, they will never stop walking. You will never be able to stand still again. But you could have 5 things that you've always wanted, whether they're real or not real. Would you do it?
Yeah, because I just sit down.
Yeah, but when you're... No, but you...
just sit down.
But if you're...
Your legs would be moving, but I'd sit down.
Yeah, but let's say you're cooking something. You'd need to constantly be walking up and down.
That's alright.
How would you do that?
People do it. I mean, people walk around
People
in the kitchen.
do it.
No, isn't like people, you walk in the kitchen, you still
But
cook,
if you need to
and then
stand... Let's say you're doing a spag bowl. You just need to stand there and stir it and do all that shit.
Well, then I buy a little mini treadmill to keep walking on.
A mini treadmill. Oh,
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. So that would be one of the things I would buy to assist me in that. I'd buy a little mini treadmill that's like a circle. Like you get like
circle.
Like in a futuristic game where when you walk on it, you don't actually move anywhere. So like kind of like that. As in, like you said, mythology or real or not real. So I'd buy one of those just so that it would help me.
things.
Yeah, that would be one of the, so that I can move around.
What a waste of a wish.
But keep my, that's just to help me maintain my life in the 5 years. So that's one. The other 4 would be, I don't know, just random things, like things I've dreamed of having, like an Aston Martin and so on and so on. Like,
Aston Martin. I've given you the endless supply of 5 things, real or not real, and you decide to buy an Aston Martin and a fucking treadmill. That's 2 out of your 5 things.
Yeah.
An Aston Martin. Just go buy an Aston Martin.
Yeah, with what money? Do you know how much
I
they
don't
are?
know. Right, okay.
Do you know how much they are?
Here's a thing for you, right? Why not, if one of your wishes, you just be like, give me an endless supply of money.
Granted, yeah.
There you go.
Endless supply
and
of
then
money.
you could have an Aston Martin and it's not a waste of a wish.
Yeah, you have to feel
Because
like
then you could spend it on anything else that
you
you
have
like.
to think of the consequences of an endless amount of money, because then you'll
Okay,
probably
so
end
give
up...
yourself a set amount of money. Let's just say $1 billion.
That's not enough, though.
$2 billion.
2. Because I've seen... Have you seen the film?
$7
What's it called?
billion.
Have you seen the film? Is it Devil? No. The film where...
The one where they're stuck in the lift.
No, not that one. The one where...
I've never seen that film.
Is it-
It's a ridiculous concept.
film
The
with-
devil's in a lift.
No. The film with... I think it's Brendan Fraser. He's given 10 wishes or something from a representation of the devil. And the girl is... I've completely forgot her name. She was in Austin Powers. That's all I can remember. I feel
No
like.
idea.
But basically, yeah, he's given 10 wishes, and each wish he does is like, oh, I wish I was a millionaire, I wish I was this. But each one has a stupid consequence, which is actually, kind of real. So like this guy, for example, he's like, oh, I wish I had all the money in the world, which he does, but then the world then gets just screwed up because you've taken all the money in the world and you've left the economy screwed.
Oh, right.
And it's like,
yeah.
all that, and then there's consequences to everything he's done. Like he said,
That's just about the way he worded it, though.
but then one of his wishes was, oh, I wish because again, it's the devil granting him these wishes. So, I wish I was the most well-known man in the world, or I wish I was the most famous person in the world. So he then he wished that, and he became the most well-known drug dealer in the world. So
God.
Because he needed to properly word it, and just towards the last couple of wishes, when he did properly word it, he then still regretted it for different reasons. I've forgotten why and how, but that's a good film. It's worth watching. But either way, I would do it just so that the first wish would be to help me in the 5 years continue to walk, or I just sit down.
Interesting.
Or lie down. Because when you lie down, your legs will be moving.
Okay, well, what about when you go to sleep?
Your legs will still be moving, but you just adapt and sleep with your legs. Because humans have adapted for years, sleeping in different ways.
Yeah, but then after the 5 years, you'd probably be like, oh, fuck, my legs aren't moving.
Well, yeah, granted, but I just have to
get
learn.
really weird.
Just
You probably
learn.
have like 5 days, you just don't sleep, you go crazy,
Yeah.
you lose your mind.
No, just learn and adapt
Mental.
again, and be like, okay, I'll just learn to sleep without my legs moving, and that's it. So
You took that a lot more. Sort of well handled than I thought you were going to.
yeah,
I'm
because
going to admit.
it was an actual question that you had to consider, not smelling of donuts or
No, because that was all
people
hypothetical.
in Monopoly houses.
Little people in Monopoly houses could be a thing. Scientists are working on it right now.
Are they? Give me the proof that
brand
scientists
new Monopoly boards are coming out still every day. New ones being made. That doesn't mean that they can't find a way to put a small little man in a Monopoly house.
So you're
Give him
telling
a
me
bit of
they
gas
haven't
mileage.
done it yet?
I'm saying they're probably working on it.
Why is that a thing to
Because
work
that'd be.
on?
Imagine how expensive that board game would be. Buy Monopoly, But it's not the same as Monopoly you played before. They've got little people in the houses that you have to look after. And then you'd be so careful. Whenever you roll the dice, they'd be like, dice would be like a hurricane for us. Like you'd look out your window and go, fuck!
Right, yeah, but
this dice would be coming towards you. You'd hear an earthquake. It'd be crazy.
No, I'm sorry. Ethically, that would be wrong. Because then when children play with pieces, as they do, they chuck them around everywhere.
Sometimes they swallow them. That's not good either.
And there you go there. So it's mass murder if they just pick it up, dash it against the wall.
I'm not saying they have to be little people that are us.
What are they then?
They could be little people from, I don't know, elsewhere. Maybe they make them in a factory. Maybe they're Monopoly people. They're like
so
AI.
they're sentient
a bit like
beings.
AI. A bit like AI.
So they're
they're kind of humans, but not really.
They're artificially intelligent. Oh, I can't speak. So basically, they're just living.
Yes.
Okay, weird. Moving on.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Wow.
So you had discussions apparently that you were going to bring up.
I did, but I don't remember most of them. However, we will.
So going back to the point where I got my phone out and said I'd written them down, and then you shat on me for not being prepared. That's bollocks, because you just said, "Oh, I had discussions," and then when I asked you about your discussions, I forgot about them.
If you let me finish.
Bollocks.
So I forgot about most of them, but I remember some of them, as I will go into now.
I don't feel like that's what you said at all. But carry on.
Right. So
Go ahead.
Basically, right. No. So talking about films is one of the things. So the film we watched recently is Detroit, which, because we didn't actually speak about how we both felt about this. Because seeing as though you saw it first, what did you think of the film?
I feel like my opinion will be terrible. Therefore, I feel like you should start, because I feel like you have a better opinion of it.
Why?
I mean, mine's going to be a bit controversial. I'm going to be honest. No, not racist. I mean, racism's bad. I want to put that out there straight away before people click off the video and be like, "Oh, it's fucking racist." I don't agree with what happened in that film at all. I just mean that I wasn't thrilled about it. I didn't really feel the need to go see it. I didn't even know about the real true event until the film came out, and I didn't bother to look it up either. I just went and saw the film, and I was like, all right, it's based on true events. Let's see, racism's bad. Let's see what happens. So I went and saw it. John Boyega, I thought he was going to be a bigger part of it. He's not really, is he? He's not. He's about, but he's not.
No, but I like
he's
that.
Not a great character.
Because I like the fact that he's
doesn't do much.
He's a main character, but he's not the main person. I do like that. Like, he's just involved in it, and he is a important character of that story, but he's not mainly in it for the film, which I do like, because showing that film based on that event, you don't need a star in it a lot, because that's not the point. It's about conveying.
Well,
that
they
story.
had what's his name? Will Poulter. Will Poulter's in it.
What, the lead cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his name's Will Poulter. He was supposed to play It. Did you know that? The new It. He was supposed to play the clown.
No, I didn't know that.
I don't know if I see him as It. I don't know. I think they've recast, because that does not look like Will Poulter. It does not sound like Will Poulter in the new film. Which, by the way, I'm very excited about seeing. Fucking love the original. But I can't wait to see the new one. But sticking on Detroit for a second here. I thought I mean, it was alright. It was better than Dunkirk. I mean, I liked it more than Dunkirk, but I didn't love it. I wouldn't say I loved it. It was okay. I mean, not much happens. I mean, although I did have a thing. Right, I came out of that film and I just said to someone, like one of my mates was like, there's not really a need for it to be a 15, I feel. In terms of, there's not really that much swearing. That I can remember. Swearing.
Sean Connery.
There's not much swear.
Sorry.
I'm never gonna get away from this now. There's not much. Fuck you. I'm moving on. There's not much of that I can remember. There's one nude scene, and it's completely unnecessary. You know the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, when she gets her shot.
No spoilers. You never know.
We're not doing spoiler free. Like, I mean, we'll do hash spoilers. So, like, either way, see the film. But yeah, but I know what you mean. I understand what you're trying to say. That it doesn't really deserve to be a 15. It's
unnecessary nudity thrown in.
It's not.
Why is that necessary?
No, the nudity. I
could have got that scene and just threw it away. Doesn't matter. But it's like, oh no, we want to get a nude. 15.
It wasn't so much
stupid.
It wasn't so much for that. I mean, it wasn't for the purpose of nude. It was for the purpose of, because in that scene, one of the women get their shirt ripped off by the cops, and then one of the army veterans come in and see it, and obviously it's like, what the hell just happened? And then John Boyega's character walks in and thinks, what the hell just happened? Because seeing that, the first thing you think, or the first thing people would think, is abuse, as in sexual abuse. Like, it wasn't from what we saw. It was just, she just literally got it ripped off kind of accidentally, how it looked. But then obviously the cops don't care. It's like, oh yeah, we'll just see it, blah blah. But it's just trying to show that side of that has happened. It's not a surprise. It is a surprise. Because around that time when it does still happen, it's a bit weird. So it wasn't. I don't think it was just thrown in for the sake of it. But the whole 15, I think it was more for the heavy amount of swearing and racial terms.
Apparently there was a lot of blood as well, which, I mean, to be honest, alright, okay, this is one thing I don't really pay that much attention to. Like, in terms of in films, if it's a 15 rated and there's loads of blood, it works normally so well in terms of when someone gets shot, you expect to see blood. So I don't really pay attention to it. I don't know if that should be a thing that counts against a 15 rating or not. It's like more... Deadpool, for example. I mean, obviously, Deadpool's a bit more... If you shoot someone in the head and their guts blow out or their brains blow out or whatever, probably not best for kids. However, oh no, but even then, I don't know. It's a difficult... It's a very...
It's more blood and gore, is what you're thinking. There's blood where it's just shot and there's blood on them, and then there's blood all around.
With Detroit, they cut away. Like, he gets shot and then they cut away and then they come back and he's dead and there's blood over the floor, but you don't see it leaking out.
No. But you see it. No, but you see it all over the other victim, the other lot as well.
Yeah, but that's all like dry blood and all that stuff. It's not really. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's a 15 rated blood thing.
Not for the blood and not for the nudity. Not at all. The blood. No, blood and gore, that would bump it up. Blood, no. But it was just the swearing and the racial terms. That's literally what made it a 15. It's just
the one benefit I do see to a 15 rating is that a serious film like Detroit benefits from it by... So someone like myself, for example, I can go in and know that there aren't going to be any disruptive kids fucking about in the screen when I'm watching my film, which I'm supposed to take very seriously because it's about a very serious event and a very tragic event.
Yeah.
And if you've got kids in there that don't really understand that and they're just fucking about, it's not really appropriate.
Yeah, no,
so I can understand from that point of view, but I don't know. I feel like the rating system needs another very good look at to sort of step back and go, right, okay, what do we actually... Because there are some 15s that are just absolute bollocks. It's like, that could easily be a 12A. And we're going by British terms here. In case you haven't realised, we are British. We are from England. So we don't have all the... What are the American ones? They're like... they got like teen?
Teen and...
R-rated.
Yeah, R-rated.
They got R-rated and... there's one above that, I think. R-rated is their 15, and they've got
X-rated. X-rated.
Is it X-rated? There's one that they've got for 18. I don't think it's X-rated. It's something else.
No, R-rated
it's like
is 18.
U or something.
I'm sure R-rated is 18.
Is it?
Yeah. R-rated is 18. Teen is just 15.
Yeah.
R-rated is 18. I'm sure.
I was talking to someone the other day that said that a 15 rating shouldn't exist, and there should just be a 12A or an 18. But then I feel like that's not a happy medium. You need to have that happy medium.
They already did that with games, because games are no longer 15 rated. They used to be. Games used to be 15 rating. They used to be 12, 15 and 18. But they've got rid of it because now there's not really a game where you can have a little middle. It's either extreme or not. There's no middle ground. It's so you either have an 18 or you have a 12A or a PG or a U. You don't with games. With films, it's changed vastly. I mean, back in the day, the slightest thing would make it an 18, or the slightest thing would make it a 15. Whereas now, you could have a lot of things in it and it would still be a 50. Like back in the day, if you had too much swearing in it or too many swear words in it, it would be immediately a 15. Nowadays, if you have a bit of swearing in it or half swearing in it, it would only be a 12A. Like the Avengers. The Avengers has the occasional swear word, blah blah. Same as Bond films, blah blah. 12A. 50. Like
I feel like they give you a rule of like the rule of 3, where it's like, oh, you can say the word fuck like 3 times, or you can say the word shit 2 times or whatever, and then after that 5 swear word limit, that's it.
Yeah.
You're a 15.
So it's...
Or like I think they did it for the World's End, right? Like they wanted it to be a 15, but they wanted to use the word cunt.
Oh yeah.
Excuse my for any. I know a lot of people don't like that word. They wanted to use that word, but it was the way they said it that allowed them to use it and still keep the 15 rating. Because normally when you use that word, it goes straight to an 18 because a lot of people find that word very offensive. But I think the way they used it was like in a jokey way. Therefore, it wasn't used in an offensive, aggressive manner. It was used in like a comedy manner. Therefore, it was a 15, not an 18. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, very. There are ways around it.
Yeah, fair.
But speaking of games, what are your favorite? What is your favorite game? Would you say?
Of all time, or
Of all time.
Of
all time and at the moment.
That's a very hard question because you go through different generations with each game being a favourite of. Because it's hard to say a favourite game of all time.
Okay, let's say a favourite game of console. Per console.
Per console, I'd probably say PlayStation. Go from the earliest I played. The earliest I played was N64. N64 GoldenEye. Yeah, N64 GoldenEye, PlayStation 1. Yeah, PlayStation 1 would probably be Spyro. PlayStation 2. It's difficult. I would probably... No, hang on. I didn't have... Well, I didn't really go PlayStation... I went from PlayStation 1 straight to Xbox. I didn't really do... So, Xbox would probably be Star Wars Battlefront series. Just in general, both 1 and 2. Just Battlefront in general. Xbox 360... I would say either Halo Reach, because I had quite a lot of fun playing that game. Either Halo Reach or... It's difficult, but I'd mainly say Halo Reach because that was just a fun game. Xbox One, probably Quantum Break, because I enjoyed the story and the gameplay of that game was just brilliant.
That was actually the one that I wanted to buy an Xbox One for. So I saw the trailer for that. I was like, it looks so good. It
was a really good game, and the actors chosen were brilliant. I love Aaron Ashmore, was a brilliant actor, underrated as well. PlayStation 4, probably. I don't know. It's a toss up between Jason and Friday the 13th because I'm enjoying playing that. It's probably not my favorite. I don't know. PlayStation 4. I'd probably say. I'd say of next generation GTA 5, just because it kind of covers both generation consoles and it is a good game. And then we switch. At the moment, I'm only playing Mario, so yeah.
Fair.
Oh, and Game Boy Color, Toy Story.
Bringing it back. Yeah. Toy Story.
Toy Story on Game Boy was amazing.
That was on Game Boy Color?
Yes. Oh God, you're so young. Yes, it's amazing.
I'll have you know, I'm like literally a year younger than you.
Yeah, it's just that's what makes the difference.
That's not.
But no, not. GameCube. And GameCube. Mario Kart Double Dash.
I'm quite surprised by that choice.
Because it was a brilliant game. I mean, I did like Smash Brothers Melee. I did like Mario Sunshine. I did like even Mario 64. I did enjoy those games. But Mario Kart Double Dash was just it was just so good because it was the first. Because there was Mario Kart, which was like the original on N64, and then it moved up and up and up. But it wasn't. Mario Kart Double Dash was the first style of Mario Kart on Wii, because that was the first style of it in terms of the levels, the layout, the camera angle, even everything. The only thing that was different is the fact that someone wasn't on the back for the Wii versions, obviously.
Fair.
Double Dash was the first style of that game, but yeah.
I would say for me, it's probably Game Boy Color is probably. Pokemon, like Pokemon Red or Blue or Yellow. I'm going to say Yellow because it's the same game. You get a Pikachu following you around, and you get that as a starter as well. It's pretty cool.
I never played any of the. Well, I never played any of the early Pokemon games. My mate Alex and Ashley, they followed it. Like they collected every single.
I used to do the cards and everything. It was great.
They had the card. They had the game.
Me and my brother grew up.
Was there a Pokemon Black that was rare?
Yeah, no, they did make a Pokemon Black. It was a black and white version, which was recently. I think it was on the DS.
The older ones. Didn't they make a black one? But apparently it was either retracted or they only sold.
Do you mean black and white or?
No, as in there was ruby, crimson. There was red, yellow, so on and so on, leaf green. But then apparently they made a black one, but it wasn't it either didn't.
As far as I'm aware, no.
Okay, I don't know. I thought I heard right, but no, carry on.
I mean, they've gone through pretty much most of the colours now. Like, I think once they got through all the colours, it was like, shit, what do we do now? They just went to like jewels. So it's like pearl, diamond, and like,
Yeah.
And then they went to letters like X, Y, and like, oh my god, just stop. Yeah, no, I think Game Boy Color, probably Pokemon Yellow, I want to say. N64, I want to say the original Super Smash Brothers, just because I remember that in such high praise. Let's see, GameCube. Oh, GameCube is hard. I'll say Mega Drive Sonic. GameCube is probably Mario Sunshine or Luigi's Mansion. It's like a toss-up between those two. PlayStation 1 is either fun. I've got a couple of PlayStation 1, so I'm just going to play Final Fantasy 7, Crash Bandicoot, just any of them. Spyro, again, any of them. I want to say Croc, but I don't know, because I was really into platformers as a kid, but then I love Final Fantasy 7. PlayStation 2, easily Final Fantasy 10. That will always be my favourite standalone game. Although it got sequels, but let's just, yeah, whatever. PlayStation 3, I'm going to say Bioshock, the series. Just count them all together. And PS4... PS4 is hard. I want to say Uncharted 4 so far, as it stands. Just because they rounded off the series so fucking well with Uncharted 4. And then when they did DLC, it didn't ruin the Uncharted 4 ending. It was just about characters that you've been with in the Uncharted universe before, but just it's not about Nathan Drake, because his story is kind of like over now. Like they could do stuff with him, but I don't know. I like what they did in terms of they just gave you another character that you've seen and already know about, where you spent a game with her and stuff, and you get to play as her and somebody else from the Uncharted universe. I thought that was quite good. But yeah,
I might change my PS4. I would probably say my favourite was, considering how short it was, how much of an indie style game it kind of was, and it wasn't that well known, I would say Little Nightmares. Because
that's a good game.
I enjoyed the game because it was a horror game, but it was a different style of horror game.
It was more creepy.
And
it was like creepypasta.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it had a really good story. It had an ending that it made you think quite a lot about it in terms of like the true meaning of the whole story. It was an interesting.
I got to the end. I was just like, "What the fuck was all that about?" Like, I have no idea. I liked it because it was like Limbo, and Limbo I really enjoyed. There are other games like it, like Rain that I played, which was alright. Obviously Little Nightmares, and I think there's one more that I played in the past, but I can't remember what it's called. That's like a similar style, where it's like that sort of tiny little figure going up against all these bigger figures in like this side scroller sort of world. But it wasn't even really a side scroller. I mean, it was a side scroller. It was like a 3D one where it's like there's a lot more to it than just left to right. But no, I really enjoyed that film. Game.
Fair. Right. And now we come to this. Yeah. Action. So what do you think of that? Obviously you don't know because you're going to edit it and you have no idea. But either way, this is my little moment where I'm just going to discuss like little little like sort of recent topics that have been going on. Obviously we were going to time this around the time that Big Ben was falling silent. So we were going to talk about that, saying is in what we thought about it, blah blah. So I mean, so for example, So what do you think of Big Ben falling silent?
Big Ben falling.
Silent.
Well, that was a great story, right?
Silent.
I mean, god damn.
Silent.
Oh, silent. Right. Okay. Well, it's all right, isn't it?
That's it. Just that's it.
Well, I mean, what else do you want me to say? Oh no, I mean, it's. I don't live in. I mean, we live in London, but we don't live in London.
We live in Greater London. We don't live in Central. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect us.
It doesn't affect us, but oh, piss off, mate. Like having that wake you up every morning, you'd be like, fuck off, like every hour. You're trying to sleep, and you just do gong. The Queen must be livid. Absolutely livid. She'd wake up every hour. She'd go, what a fucking clock. She's probably great. She's probably so happy. She's like, I can finally get a good night's rest.
She'll probably, bless the Queen. She'll probably end up passing away before it comes back on? Because it comes back on in what, 4 years?
I don't know. She's going for a very long reign, isn't she?
Yeah,
Is she like one of the longest reigning monarchs or something?
I'm not too sure. I believe so.
I know Victoria was, but I don't know how long. Good old Lizzie has been on the throne for.
But I just feel like Big Ben falling silent for 4 years. I mean, it's kind of a pathetic reason as well for it falling for 4 years. The reason why it's going silent, by the way, if you don't know, for 4 years is because they're doing engineering. Yeah, they're doing maintenance on it. 4 years work.
No. That sounds actually about right.
No, yeah, because I said that at a status. I went
London, English workers. They're about 4 years? Nah, it could be longer than that. Yeah, but let's just give it an optimistic viewpoint here. 4 years is actually an optimistic viewpoint.
It's just, it's ridiculous. Like, it takes...
Normally take about 12 years. I think we're looking at it from a really good standpoint. Of like, 4 years? Yeah, fucking hell, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
No way, it'd be at least 12. Sorry, go on.
No, it's true. Because like, from what I see of like people, of engineers that... I mean, I'm not saying all engineers are like this. I'm saying most of them are, or we don't understand the reasoning behind it. Like, so for example, in an underground station, it will take 10 months to repair an escalator. It takes 10 months to replace. I do not understand why it takes 10 months. And the worst thing is, it's not like that they'll block it off and they'll actually be there. It's not like they'll block it off and then they won't be there for 10 months. Or they won't be there for 9 months and then on the last month, then they'll fix it. It's not like that. It's they're actually there.
I bet they do. Do you know what they're doing? They're probably eating those fucking donuts from the beach.
Why?
Yeah, bringing that
why
back.
is that a
bringing
thing
that
in
back.
your head?
I'm bringing that back.
No, you're
Anyway,
bloody
yeah.
not. It's like it actually takes them 10 months to. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand why it takes so long in this country to do and fix the simplest of things. When I went to New Zealand 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I walked outside my sister's house to go to the beach for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the house, they started engineering work in the street. They actually dug up the street because they needed to access some pipes. So I don't know. I didn't ask them. I'm not going to. But they were digging up the road and just doing whatever.
Just go up to them and it's like, excuse me.
What are you doing
Sorry,
there, son?
What are you doing?
But what
are you up to, mate?
They were just doing that for a while. So I walked off, went to the bus stop, took the bus to the beach, blah, blah, absolutely fine. And then when I came back later that day, they were gone. They were all gone, everything cleared and everything done. And I thought, why can't we be like that? Where there's some roadworks,
because
it takes a day and it's gone. Not roadworks where it takes 3.5 weeks with replacement traffic lights that don't sodding change for 2.5 minutes each way.
It's because we live in England.
That can't
and
just
we
be
are
the reason.
Filled with twats that we just break things. We don't repair. We break them further first. And then once we've broken them to the lowest point that they could possibly get, beyond fixing, and then we go, I should probably fix that.
Do you know,
that's why? Because we're lazy. I mean, that is what it is, really, isn't it? I mean, you look at when something breaks, do you take it to be completely fixed, or do you just do a little fix to get it working again
for a little while,
while longer, and then wait for it to break again, and you just go, for fuck's sake. And then you little fix it again. You don't fully fix it. You don't pay for it to be fully fixed. You just little fix. Get it working again. That's all you want.
The thing is, this is what I think that some, like, for example, call-out technicians and call-out engineers, this is what I believe they do to keep themselves employed. I think what they do, for example, if you work in, let's say, a cinema or a retail or anything like that, and your chip and pin fails, like, say if you work in any form of retail and your chip and pin fails, as it does for the 50th time in a week, and you call out an engineer, which obviously costs the company money to pay them to call them out. They come out, they do the smallest little fix, and then they bugger off again. 2 days later, it happens again.
No. Before they do the smallest little fix, they're always on the phone to some guy named Bob, and they're like, "Oh, Bob, I don't know, I'm here. It's just not working, is it? It's just not working. I don't know what to do, Bob. They fucked it. They've broken it. I don't know. No, I don't know what they've done, Bob. No, I'm telling you, I don't know. They do that for about half hour first, while you're standing there, because you have to stand there with them to make sure they don't do anything fishy. Those. I was about to say catfishing, but that's not really the right term, is it, for a?
Do you mean
cowboy?
For a builder? Do you mean cowboy?
Cowboy builders. That's the one. Yeah. Oh, that show. I love that show with the bald guy. He's great.
The bald guy. I love how you have to distinguish the bald guy.
The bald guy.
The bald guy who's naked.
He's fully clothed, but he's just bald.
Yes, I'm aware.
He's got no hair here around this area.
Yes, I'm aware.
I think he has. No, he's fully shaven as well. I think. Yeah, he's like a shiny crystal ball. It's great. He's got a right Cockney accent. He's like, oh, welcome to Cowboy Builders lot. You know, he's that kind of guy. And then you go, why didn't you fix your house? Anyway, sorry. Now that that's done, carry on. How far are we? We're nearly at the end. We're nearly at the end of the stress meter. I wonder what happens when we finally reach the end.
You'll find out what happens.
I feel like we should end the podcast before that happens, but carry on.
But yeah, I just don't understand how it takes so long. So yeah, for 4 years, the Big Ben is going to be silent for to do maintenance on it. It's probably to clean a little bit of metal.
It's probably got a little speck of dust like on the corner here.
Yeah,
like, some guy needs to get up there for 4 years.
That's
just
4
to,
years
just,
work
just to.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Little feather duster, like, I can't reach it, Harry. Give me a lift. It's like, oh, I don't know. We haven't got the ladders. We need to get the right ladders. That'll take about 4 years, won't it? We need to build the ladders first.
Yeah.
And we don't have the technology.
Last thing let's end it with upcoming things, or let's say upcoming films / games to look forward to.
Okay. Oh, games I've got. Good list. Good list going on.
Do films first.
Okay.
Because films is less off. I know that. So for example, like I'm very much looking forward. We'll do it in order as far as I can remember. I'm very much looking forward to It, which comes out
for this Friday.
Actually, no,
it comes
sorry.
out. What day are we on? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We're filming this on Wednesday. It comes out in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm already looking for because it's already
I'm gonna
out.
go see it Saturday night. When are you seeing it?
Oh no, I'm seeing it Thursday night on the midnight release.
There's a midnight release?
At the O2. At a place. I'm sorry, the O2, yeah, there's a midnight
At
release.
a place?
Yeah.
Let's just disclose our location.
Yeah, there's a midnight release at the O2.
I did not know that.
If we'll discuss this. But either way,
I am working Thursday, but I might be able to make that. Well, no, I can't. I've made plans with a friend of mine to go see it. God damn it.
Fair. Yeah, the Friday, not the Friday. There's a film that's already out that I'd like to see, or that's getting quite good reviews. Is it Lucky Logan or Logan Lucky? Logan Lucky.
I always get this confused. I don't think it's Lucky Logan. It's Logan Lucky, and it's definitely popular with the elderly. I'll give you that. However, the downfall you're going to have, I would always see it before 3 p.m. Because it's the film because everything that is out at the minute is 15 rated, right? So if you go after 3 p.m, the school kids will be out and they'll all be trying to get into 15 rated films. They'll all get denied, and that's the cop out.
Yeah,
they're going to see the 12A.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably say go before 3 p.m. if you can.
But I'm looking forward to that because I do want to see that. But in terms of films coming out,
just because Daniel Craig's in it and he's currently Bond.
No,
he's got like some.
Not just
apparently, did you right? Okay, I want to bring this up. Did you know hillbilly is apparently a racist word? I didn't know that. Because I was right. Okay,
no,
I was talking
but
to
I can understand.
I was talking to a coloured gentleman the other day, and I know this is important in the story. I have to point this out, right? So I was talking to a coloured gentleman the other day, and he was pointing out to me because he was asking me about Logan Lucky, and I said about Daniel Craig's and he's got a hillbilly accent on. I was like, it makes it quite interesting, I suppose. And he was like, oh yeah, you can say that, I can't. And I was like, what do you mean you can't? He was like, oh, it's racist. I was like, how is it when has the word hillbilly ever been racist?
It's probably an American.
Is it a black thing or is it a general thing? I'm very confused.
No, I think it's more it's an American thing that obviously is segregated to over there that we don't know. So it's
because he said I call it the Southern accent, and I was like, yeah, but Southern where?
That makes more sense.
But I don't understand that. Why can't we just hillbilly's just a commonly used word as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I get the whole other side of it, like in terms of I can't say the N word because that's very offensive, but but black people say it to other black people and then it's fine.
It's more. I think it's more because hillbilly. It's southern because Southern Americans are known as that because. They used to be known as that because it was. I think it's more a slang word that was used for them. And it is offensive because it's like a stereotype, basically. So when you think of hillbilly, you think of probably people who, I mean, as far as I'm aware, what you see in like TV series and cartoons and blah blah, they take the piss out of hillbillies by saying that they sleep with their own cousins and daughters, and they have like a straw sticking out their mouth and go yeehaw, like stuff like that. Like that's.
I think that's more cowboy on that side of thing. But
well, no, there's southern because Texas and stuff. So it's southern, but it's still So I can understand the premise of why it would be offensive. So yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah, moving on from your racism, films coming up. Definitely Kingsman 2.
Oh, can't wait for Kingsman 2.
And
There's a
that
double
comes
bill. There's a double bill.
Yeah, that comes out in 3 weeks. 3 weeks time. No, a month. Just under a month's time actually. Yeah.
It's the 20th of September, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, roughly. Oh, it's 3 weeks then. Yeah, comes out in 3 weeks time. Yeah. What else comes out? So that comes out soon. Then you've got Thor 3. Thor 3
Thor
that comes
Ragnarok
out just
coming out.
before, because that comes out.
That's
before,
November.
Yeah, that comes out before just before or after Justice League. I think it comes out before.
No, it comes out before Justice League, and then Justice League comes out around the 20th or the 22nd, something like that.
Because
4 comes out on the 8th.
Because that hasn't really happened before, where DC and Marvel have come out very, very close together.
Oh yeah, it'd be interesting to see, like, because they're quite big films. You'd think like, oh, 4 film, it's not really, but it is.
Yeah.
It's like when they did Captain America 3 with Batman v Superman. It's like, oh, Batman v Superman, it's going to be great. You know, it's like a really, really big movie. First one when they're on the screen together. And it's like, oh, Captain America, yeah, get her out of it. You've like already had 2. And it's like, yeah, but Civil War.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, actually, I don't know about that. You know, there's a bit of conflict. You know, so Thor Ragnarok is the last one, more or less, before, I mean, yeah, we got Black Panther, but it's not really connecting too much with what's going to lead into Avengers Infinity War. Whereas apparently this one, Thor Ragnarok, is sort of leading into in terms of because it starts in space, right?
Yeah, Thor 3 is the first start of the Infinity War.
I don't imagine Thanos will show up in Black Panther and be like, "I'm ready." It's like wrong fucking movie, mate. Get to the next one.
Yeah, no, Thor 3 is pretty much the start of the war, as in how it first starts, and then it heads to Earth. But yeah, so that is the start.
And it has
of the
Hulk in it.
Yeah, granted.
You're not looking forward to Justice League, are you?
No, because I don't look forward to DC anymore. I don't, because DC overhypes their films and it's a massive letdown every time. Even Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a good film, but it was very overhyped. It wasn't that great of a film. It was just,
alright.
It was probably on
It was a good film.
It was better. It was probably on par with Man of Steel, but it wasn't better than.
Oh no, I found Man of Steel very boring. I thought Wonder Woman was definitely more. It's sort of like it had those few boring bits, but Wonder Woman entertained me a little bit more.
The only reason why Wonder Woman didn't get me as much is because Wonder Woman was just basically Captain America, but just as a woman. It was just, there was just no difference. It was just a super soldier that was in the war.
But Captain America set in World War II. I think you're missing the thing here, right? Wonder Woman was set in World War One. Very, very big difference there already. Captain America's a man, and Wonder Woman's a woman. If you didn't get about the title. How close are we?
Nearly
We're
there.
very there.
Got one more. But yeah, it was just too similar, and I just thought that wasn't really that. And obviously Batman v Superman, we never speak of that film, and
except for the extended version, that was okay.
Yeah,
the extended version was okay. The standard edition is absolute shite.
Yeah, but still, and
Shockingly bad.
Suicide Squad. Again,
I like Suicide Squad.
It was an entertaining film. But the fact
the
that
villain was a bit shit, but the rest of it, like the actual Suicide Squad themselves, all of it to do with that was great. I love that.
It's just the fact that they cut out so much of the Joker that would have made the film so much better. And then now what's even worse is that they're now replacing Jared Leto, even though he didn't do a bad job.
They're not replacing Jared Leto. Jared Leto is still the Joker in the DCEU. What they're doing is they want to do Martin Scorsese is apparently writing a separate Joker film that's outside of the DCEU that's just about Joker, set in the 80s, where they're going to cast another Joker, but it's not part of the DCEU. Therefore, Jared Leto is not out as the Joker. He's just not in that Joker film because they want to make a different version of the Joker in a separate universe.
Fair. But
so it's not entirely.
I just don't see why, because it's just such a waste. Not a waste of time, but it's just so pointless. I don't know. But the other thing as well is that it's Batman. Even because DC just always screw things up. Even with the solo Batman film that's coming out, it's been heavily like at first it was amazing, it was great, it looked like it was going to be great, blah blah. But then Ben Affleck dropped out as the director because he couldn't do both, which obviously makes sense. I mean, a big film as that, you can't direct and act and star in it. It's a bit hard.
I feel like that's absolute bollocks, to be honest. In terms of the reason that he dropped out, I think that's all a lie.
There's probably other stuff as well, but I can understand, like, given, I don't know, probably like he probably had too many disagreements being an actor and a director with the people. I don't know, fuck knows, but like there's probably other reasons to it. And then
because he's directed his own films before.
Yeah, no, granted, but obviously not one as big and as choreographed and as prop orientated and
I suppose,
all of that as Batman. But no, DC, I just don't look forward to anymore because it just cocks up too much. And then we obviously don't talk about the earlier films like Catwoman or Green Lantern. Or like,
Do you know, I'm one of the very few people in the world that actually don't mind Green Lantern.
Yeah, don't mind it.
I thought Green Lantern was alright.
Yeah,
it was a fun ride.
You don't like it, do you?
I wouldn't say it's my favourite film of all time, no, but I liked it. It was alright.
Okay, right.
It was alright.
It
was just a fun ride. I mean, I didn't like the gas cloud fight at the end. That was a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Just like how they ruined Galactus in Fantastic Four, which we also didn't talk about. But okay, last film I think of the year that we're probably both looking forward to quite a lot. You probably more than me, but I am also looking forward to it greatly. Star Wars Episode 8.
Yeah.
Not had that many trailers. Well, how many trailers have we had now? 2?
No, 1.
We had 1.
Yeah, just 1.
So I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of it. No, do you know why? Because we had that one behind the scenes trailer.
Yeah.
And one actual trailer. But you are debating not seeing any more trailers, right?
Sort of, yeah.
You're not sure if you want to see another trailer.
I don't really want to because
I'm kind of the same.
Because I've already seen, like, for example, what Snoke looks like in terms of visually what he looks like from the hologram, from outside of the hologram from the last film. But, you know, I'm really looking forward to the film because I just want to see how they're going to do the theory of Rey, because there's been so many different theories. I'm still going to stick with the theory I sort of discovered, but then when I googled it, it's already been a theory. It's not a massive theory compared to the others, but because it's a theory I noticed, because the way how in the game, in Battlefront 2 that's coming out soon, they've given a unique stance, the same stance how you hold a lightsaber that Qui-Gon Jinn held his lightsaber.
Oh yeah.
Everyone holds a lightsaber in a different way. Qui-Gon Jinn held it the same way all the time, and even in Rebels, when Obi-Wan or Ben Kenobi fought Darth Maul again for the last time, if you've seen that.
I've seen that scene.
Right.
Don't watch the show, but I've seen that scene.
He tributed Qui-Gon Jinn by holding his blade that way just before Darth Maul struck at him. So he did his normal 2-finger thing, but then he went like that as a tribute to Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh,
so
okay.
I thought, fair, that's a good little tribute. But yeah, she holds it like that in the game, but also in... and it would just sort of not make sense, but I could understand how they do it. So obviously Qui-Gon died, but then at the end of episode 3, when Yoda says to Obi-Wan, "Oh, I'll teach you to talk to your old master," blah blah. Maybe in that time, Qui-Gon said to Obi-Wan, "Oh, I have a daughter out there. Could you look after her? Could you guide her? Blah blah." And then she has a daughter who is then Rey. But I just think that the only other theory I had that was underneath that, which I was thinking before, is that the whole reason why Rey's connected to the lightsaber is because that's the same lightsaber that was used to kill her parents. Because basically her parents, I believe, were in Luke's school when Kylo Ren was in the school. But then when Kylo Ren went evil, or when Luke went evil, God knows, because I believe that Luke killed his students, not Kylo. But well, either way, when all of his students died, I believe that it was by that lightsaber that struck all the children, or the learners, and also her parents. That's why when she touched it, she had like flashbacks of sort of Luke, the scene where Luke and Darth fought for the first time, and Cloud City. Then it skipped to the Knights of Ren. Then it skipped to her parents leaving. So like those 3 things, I think that's why she had those visions.
But was that her parents leaving?
Well, I feel like
it could have been a carer or someone that she was close to that wasn't necessarily her parents. Maybe she doesn't know who her parents are.
No, granted, I don't know.
Because it wouldn't make sense if she has enough knowledge to say no and all that kind of stuff, like start screaming and doing all this sort of stuff. Around that age, she would have enough knowledge to probably remember who her parents are, or what they look like, or what their names were at least.
True.
So I don't reckon her parents were on that ship. I think that when the ship went away, it was someone else on that ship that she was just close to, like carer or something, or she just was a child and didn't want to be left on a desert planet. Because no one wants that. I mean, come on. Who wants to be left on a desert planet?
True. But no, yeah. So I am very much looking forward to the film. Because I enjoyed 7. I enjoyed it. So, and Rogue One. Rogue One was amazing.
Oh, Rogue One was great.
So yeah, I am enjoying 7. I'm enjoying what's coming out. Sorry, I'm enjoying 8. I'm enjoying what's going to come out. The Han Solo film, the Yoda film, the Boba Fett film, and the Obi-Wan film that's been recently announced as well. Because Obi-Wan, I feel like that's another reason why she also could be a Kenobi, is just because they're
saying Obi-Wan after Episode 9.
No, oh, yeah, but I mean, in terms of they've only just announced that there will be a solo. But if they announced it before, if they announced it before episode 7 came out, and then we saw episode 7, then when you saw her daughter, then everyone would think, oh, she's Bailey a Kenobi because there's a Kenobi film halfway. So I feel like
the reason that they might be doing an Obi-Wan film after episode 9 is because you find out either in episode 8 or 9 who she is, and it could be a Kenobi, and they don't want to do the Kenobi film, show him having a daughter, and then you're like, oh, that's Bailey.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so that's what I mean. I just mean I feel like they announced it now only to sort of make it less obvious. If they announced it with all the other films beforehand, then when you first saw 7, you would then immediately think, oh, Kenobi, just because of the film. Yeah, so that's why they've only announced it now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all the future Star Wars side films as well as the main 3.
Do you think, right? This is something I've been wondering for a while. Do you think it's an issue of ours to watch all the trailers they release and all the behind the scenes that they release and potentially get things spoiled for us in the film? Or do you is that our fault because we want to see those trailers and get excited for it? Or is it the fault of the studios themselves releasing those trailers and those behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff for us to see, but then involving spoilers in that?
No, because I mean it's more a case of us than them because it depends.
But I feel like it's innocent on our part because we want to get excited for the film. Therefore, when a new trailer comes out, you're like, oh, I want to see a bit more.
Yeah, that's
but not too much.
Yeah, everyone always wants to see more, but it depends on the company making the trailer and how much they show. And this is the problem with DC. Marvel, when they show trailers, they do it right.
Although they did kind of mess up on the recent 4 trailer. They showed Hulk talk. Spoiler for whoever cares. They showed Hulk talking, which I'm very upset about in the trailer. Yeah. Because although that did get me hyped, don't get me wrong, it was great to get hyped. They showed that in the trailer. I'm not happy about it. I would have rather seen that in the film and got hyped then. Again, even after that, they showed it an unnecessary because they've already got that that gets you hyped. Yeah. Then they show Fire Lord Surtur after that, and I'm like, that's another thing that got me hyped. You could have just done one or the other. Why do both in the same trailer right at the end? That's 2 after credit scenes I don't need and don't want in a trailer. Let me see that. If he shows up in the film and I don't see him in a trailer, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's not in it, and he shows up in the film, I'm like, oh my fucking god. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got so much more of a bigger impact.
No, I agree. I mean, yeah, that's probably the one thing. I mean, the whole Hulk talking thing, I know the storyline of.
Oh, well, yeah, I knew he was probably going to talk anyway, but I didn't want to know that in the trailer. I don't want to hear what he sounds like and what he says. No, it was a great scene to put in the trailer, don't get me wrong. It did get me hyped, but I just would have rather seen it in the film.
No, fair. But no, I do agree that recent Marvel is probably the only one they've shown too much. But you have to agree, every other Marvel film, they've not shown too much. They always have 2 to 3 trailers, and it tends to be the same angle.
You said that the Spider-Man one, they kind of...
Spider-Man one, it was just too basic of a storyline to see. The twist was amazing. Don't get me wrong, that was hidden as shit.
Oh, the twist took me, yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I expected it to be that twist, but with some other character.
Exactly.
So when it happened with that character, I was like, oh.
Yeah. So you don't expect, and that was good, but the storyline behind that was too basic to see. Is in the whole, he uses the suit, he abuses it, it gets taken away, it comes back. And then Tony Stark offers him, do you want this? And he goes, nah, I'm alright. It's one of those stereotypical storylines. So that was easy to see. But in general, the film was good. And Marvel will always do that. DC, the worst thing they did was Batman v Superman, where every trailer was different. And every trailer showed different aspects of the film. Fair enough. I felt like I watched the entire film in the trailers. And I did when I watched the film because it was just all in the trailer. And DC make that mistake. So that's why I'm not even that looking forward to Justice League, because Justice League, looking at the trailers, I can just sort of see everything happening.
Saying that, they haven't really showed much of the villain in the trailer. They've only showed him recently, and that was like for 5 seconds, and he has one little speech, and that's probably his entrance speech. So you don't really see him in the trailer.
That's good.
You see a lot of them teaming up and fighting the minions and stuff, but that could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's good.
I like what they've done with that.
Because in Batman v Superman, that's what they spoiled. That's what they fucked up.
Oh,
they showed
Doomsday.
They showed Doomsday in
like,
a quarter of the trailer, and it's like, well, that's the end villain. You've just seen the end villain, and the actual I don't feel like it should have been called Batman v Superman because it wasn't. They were fighting for
that's
the wrong
why they
reasons.
added the Dawn of Justice thing on.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was like, oh, but it's not Batman. But it's okay, fine. Throw the Dawn of Justice thing in. Like, you know, like it's just, I don't know. I feel like it was poorly handled.
But yeah, so that's basically it for films. We'll do games and wrap it out. But
Okay,
games,
yeah. What games are you looking forward to?
upcoming. I would say, well, I'm looking forward to. Is it Pokken Tournament? Pokken Tournament on Switch. To replay.
That was a game I wasn't looking forward to until I saw you playing the demo, and now I need a Nintendo Switch to play that game because it looks fucking amazing.
That looks really good. Mario Odyssey as well because it basically is Mario 64 but just in a town.
I want to see the gameplay of that first. I'll wait until you buy it. I'll watch you play it, and then
because it's a really good game because it just basically looks like Mario Sunshine, Mario 64, just because recently there's been no good Mario game that's been like that. They've just been reruns or just sideswipe or the what was the crappy one they made? Mario where you create the levels and stuff like that. It was just
Mario Maker.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. It was just like none of the traditional stuff that they used to do where it was like a massive level that you effectively free roamed and you jumped into mini levels that took you to difficult puzzles and stuff.
That's why I like Mario Sunshine so much.
Yeah, that was the point of Mario. But yeah, no. So yeah, those two. In terms of next gen, it would be middle of Shadow of War because the story I can't wait to carry on because the way how the first one ended was abrupt but interesting to see where it will go.
Can't wait for that one either.
Especially with what they've done with certain characters and stuff, and the fact that they've made Shelob into
an actual person
with
like a sorceress or something, or like a fortune teller, a seer. Yeah,
with a ring as well, which is amazing. It's very very well done because considering this is all still set in between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, which is brilliant.
Can't wait.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, just because it looks better than the first one. The fact that they've included
the storyline now.
Yeah, they've included the campaign. They've included different eras, not just 4, 5, 6.
Can't wait for that. Booked a whole week of holiday for those two games, Star Wars and Middle Earth.
Because it's just and as well as that is because the one thing that annoyed me about the first Star Wars, as well as it being crap and it was all one era and there's no campaign, they shouldn't have called it Battlefront. They should have just called it Star Wars because calling it Battlefront.
I feel like it did have the originality of Battlefront in there though.
The only Battlefront originality they had was just the fact that you captured command posts. That was it. There was nothing else that was Battlefront-y about it. There was no galactic conquest. There was no space battles until they included the DLC because everyone was asking for it. There was no. The hero mode was a bit at first overpowered as hell when you first played that game, and even then, a lot of Star Wars Battlefront fans didn't necessarily like the heroes. It was more to do with the gritty sort of war to it, and everyone loved Galactic Conquest. Galactic Conquest was the thing that was half of Battlefront. That's what made Battlefront. Galactic Conquest was basically just playing Risk. It's like you had the galaxy in front of you, and you selected which planet to go to next.
I always just, for me, it was very easy because I just sort of, there were levels I loved playing on for Battlefront. And there were some levels I just didn't. So what I would always do, like I didn't really care much for like the Tatooine levels and stuff. So what I would do in Galactic Conquest is like, you've got Naboo or Tatooine. I'm like, get fucking rid of Tatooine.
Yeah.
Just like I didn't want to play on that anyway. Just get the fuck rid of that and let me actually enjoy this game.
It was pretty cool.
I did like that.
And even the fact that you couldn't in Battlefront 1 I hated because you couldn't with Battlefront original games you actually played through the stories of the Star Wars films. With this one you didn't. It was just multiplayer. Like I feel like they rushed it and released it earlier than expected because the training levels had story. When you played the training levels, so when you played as Darth and Sidious going into Hoth, they had cutscenes and stories.
Did you?
Yeah, when you did the training level.
On this Battlefront that came out last year.
Yeah, in this one.
Yeah.
When you when you were in the ATST and you were walking around and you walked on I forgot what it's called, not Mustafar, but the other rocky, fiery sort of planet.
Oh, I know the one you mean.
When you were walking along that had a story because you were being told by someone what to do and what to fire at, and there was a cutscene and blah, blah, blah. All wicked, but that was in the training levels where they had cutscenes. Everything else there was nothing, so it was just a waste. So that's why I'm looking forward to this one, and probably last game. Actually, there is no other game this year, I'd say, aside from that, really.
No Assassin's Creed, no?
Assassin's Creed, yeah, but I won't be in a rush to get it.
Oh, I can't wait for Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed
It's been too long. I feel like they've waited long enough now for... Let's take a break from Assassin's Creed. When we bring it back, people will be hyped because they haven't had one for a while. Because we're used to having one every year.
Yeah,
and then we did kind of get a bit stale. Even though I love the recent one, Syndicate, it's one of my favourite ones. Even though I love that one, it did kind of get a bit stale. It's like, oh wait, we're getting another. It's like Call of Duty. It's like, oh, we're getting another Call of Duty every, like it's that same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, they waited 2 years, released a crap movie in between, and then when they're releasing this one, they've changed so many things about it, and it's ancient Egypt, and I'm like, oh, okay. And there's not that many tall buildings. Like, there's enough there to get me back into the series, B, excited for it, and C, just. It's interesting enough.
Yeah.
Like that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I cannot wait to play that. Get my hands on Assassin's Creed again.
Yeah, no, it does look good. This is what you said as well about Call of Duty. Call of Duty World War 2 comes out as well.
I'm looking forward to that just because they're bringing it back to World War 2. I loved World at War. The zombies look a bit more darker.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I want them to change it. I've already said this to you, right? Like I want them. I don't want them to do the same thing again.
No, it's not. Cause
do zombies by all means, but make it something new.
Yeah, because this zombies actually has a campaign. It's not round to round based. They probably have a mode where it's round to round, but it's not. That's not the main thing.
It's like a tribute thing.
It will have a campaign. It will have that. But even Call of Duty, I'm not 100% that fussed because for Call of Duty fans, yes, this is amazing. You're going back to the world. You're not going futuristic, but because I've played Call of Duty and Battlefield, which you haven't, I'm already used to. Like when Call of Duty, was it Advanced Warfare? What was the one that came out last year?
Advanced Warfare was no. That was Advanced Warfare. I think was the one before. The one that came out recently was.
It was attached to Call of Duty 4 Remaster, whatever that one was.
Oh man, it was.
Either way,
some
it was crap.
Shitty game. It was the worst game I've ever played in my life. But they had a really great cast for it as well. What a waste.
That Call of Duty came out around the same time as Battlefield 1, and Battlefield 1 destroyed that Call of Duty because it brought back everything that everyone's wanted for so long. So
one went into the past, one went into the future, and the past eventually win out. So. Yeah.
And I played that one because it was amazing, and so I'm already used to getting back into that phase of playing that. So Call of Duty World War 2 I'm not that looking forward to, but at the same time I'll still get it because it's worth getting. And for the zombies, because it's different because it's from the same engine as Dead Space, so I will be looking forward to that. And the fact that David Tennant is one of the characters in Zombies, which is
David Tennant is one of really
he plays one of the commanders that you play as or something like that. He keeps popping up on Facebook, but he's one of the characters. There's been no footage of him or any of the characters yet because obviously they've only released one trailer. But David Tennant's one of the characters.
Interesting. I love David Tennant.
Yeah.
That's another thing we probably could have talked about on this podcast, but we'll save that for next podcast. The female doctor and the casting of that. So look forward to our next podcast. We'll probably bring that up.
We'll bring that up when there's been. Actually,
maybe after the Christmas episode.
Yeah, we'll bring that up after she's been on. So we'll probably bring it up before and sort of because they'll release a Christmas trailer before it comes up because they haven't released.
Oh no, but we'll have to wait until the Christmas episode. But then I don't think you're going to get much of her in that. She's just. I think she'll pop up at the end, obviously, when he regenerates.
Yeah, true. Well, either way, we will discuss it in the next one. Then we'll actually discuss
it as it goes along anyway. But.
The one after. But fair.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up, right? You good to wrap it up? Have I reached the end of the stress meter?
No, nearly. No, you didn't actually make it to the end. If you did, you would have seen what would have happened. But no,
okay. Well, I'm as curious as I'm sure the audience is to find out what would happen, but. I'll pass for now. I'll pass. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, do all that kind of stuff if you're a fan of our podcast so far. Let us know which method I suppose you prefer, like the gaming one or just us sitting down having a conversation. This is certainly easier, this setup. This is... Well, it is, yeah. Well, less to do.
It is, but it's less of me kicking your ass at a game.
True. But I mean, we can either do both, or we can just do this setup, or we can do the other one. It's completely up to you guys. Let us know what you prefer to have in the comments. I've heard people say that they would prefer for us just to sit down and have a conversation like this because it's easier to listen to. But
granted, and it
completely up to you guys. So
just to also throw in from earlier because I couldn't. every single game I have won of Monopoly, and every single game you have lost stone dead last.
I don't feel like that's very important, to be honest.
But it is true.
I just don't feel like it's any important. Anyway, join us next time for another lovely Dan and Shai show. I'm Dan. This is Shai. I love how we didn't bring that up in the first podcast. I thought we should probably bring it up now. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.
That was the consequence, by the way.
Thanks a lot.